Want to know the one thing that separates successful people from everyone else? They review their goals 3 times a day. Today I'm sharing my proven system for not only coming up with what my goals will be, but how to stay focused on them so I'm motivated and making progress every single day. By the way, this is a process I've already taught my inner circle clients. Shout out to you guys. If you're interested in learning more about coaching with me, send me the word coach in a text to the phone number down below. All right, whenever I make plans, I like to go to the Good Morning Good Life planner because all the planning vibes. And I'm just gonna flip to the back here where we've got lots of lovely blank space. Get my bookmark out of the way. All right, so pretty simple. We're gonna just start with 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're gonna do 4 lines across. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a slightly abbreviated custom New Year's Eve version. All right, so just number to 5 at the top. Our very first step is a long-term vision. And so we need 5 to thrive. So we're gonna write here 5 to thrive. So you wanna think big here. If this means that you have, your dream home, we could put that here. You could also say, I want to be a 5-time best-selling author. Put that there. Just think in terms of where am I in my mind if I have had a life well lived? What is true about me? And what are those 5 things that make me thrive in this life? That's what's going in this row here. Okay, so we've got some pretty big visions here. This would be wonderful if we were to be able to say it someday. So those are our 5 to thrive. When you have a long-term vision, no matter what it is, and everyone's is going to be different, you have a destination that you are driving toward. So every day doesn't feel like it's just like, well, blowing with the wind over here. In order to have a successful year, you need to have a vision at play. And then you can have a successful month and a successful week and a successful day because you see where you're headed. This is going to change. Why? Because we are humans and we grow and we evolve, and it is okay if this does not look the same in 5 years. But if you are intentional today because you did this, that's all that matters. You have to do things in order to figure out if something is the right fit for you. So don't get so hard on yourself about making 30-year decisions right now. Let's just get the ball rolling. So when you have your 5 to thrive, the next step that we need is 10 to win. We need a win list. So based on our long-term goals, okay, your 25 to 30s here, we need the 1-year goals, and that's what's gonna be in 10 to win. So for each item, let's come up with 2 things that we're going to do in a year's time that's going to help us work toward that vision. So for your dream home, let's just say this year we want to save $10,000 toward your down payment. And dream home, we're also going to tour, a minimum of 15 homes. It's tough these days in real estate. You got to get out there, you got to check it out. So you're not really taking it seriously if you're not walking in the door anywhere and trying to figure out what you want in a dream home. So we've got those 2 for thriving item number 1. Now for best-selling author. Oh, well, have you written a book before? Might be a good place to start. If you've never written a book and you intend to be a 5-time best-selling author someday, then I suggest you get to writing. So maybe this year we're going to define book number 1 and start writing at least 100 pages, okay? Set a goal. Who cares if you hit it? Imagine if you were gonna have 0 pages because you didn't write down 100, but you got to 50. That's the whole thing here. Next, let's see, 7-figure entrepreneur, we're going to look at the bottom line and don't fix what's not broken. If you're making money, how can you make more at what you're doing? Okay, so we have 2 milestones that we're gonna hit this year in order to get closer to our 5 to thrive. Speaking of turning big dreams into achievable milestones, let's talk about one of the most meaningful long-term goals many of you have shared with me, earning your college degree. If this is part of your long-term vision, the sponsor of this segment of the video is helping ambitious professionals like you turn this goal into a reality. And that's our friends at University of Phoenix. So you know how we just broke down your one-year milestones? Well, University of Phoenix uses a similar strategy, breaking down your degree into manageable 5 to 6 week courses that are possible with a busy schedule since most classes are available online. This is exactly the kind of strategic planning that we've been talking about. Instead of being overwhelmed by a full class load and everything else you got going on, you can focus on one challenge at a time. University of Phoenix understands that consistency and focused effort is key to achieving big goals. Their 24/7 classroom access means you can maintain your current commitments while still making daily progress toward your degree. And with 17 start dates throughout the year, you don't have to wait for the perfect time, because as you and I both know, the perfect time is now. Finishing your degree can feel like a massive mountain to climb, but University of Phoenix is the perfect place for you to go to break it down into achievable steps, just like we do here at Amy TV. Discover what your future could hold by finishing your degree with University of Phoenix. Find out more details with the link in the description down below. Now, I'm gonna throw you a curveball. This is actually a slight change in how I am doing this training today, because I think you're thinking, yeah, I could do that. That would be great if I did all of that. Sounds good. I could do that in a year's time. I'm gonna challenge you to choose between 3 and 5 of these 10 items for your 12-week year. That's right. Instead of, I could do these things in a year's time, no problem, I'm going to ask you to choose at least 3 things. I think 3 is a good number. 5 is a little high. 5's high, because these are big things. I want you to pick 3 things that you agree you could have done in a year's time, and I want you to force yourself to achieve the 12-week year and get it done in a quarter. If you haven't seen my videos on 12-week year, you've got to check it out. This has been a game changer for me. I just did my assessment of all the 12-week year goals that I hit in 2024. And of the things that I thought would take a year, it's insane what I was able to do in much less time. This gives you a ton of focus. So, for instance, maybe there's something you could do in the next 12 weeks that would help you to save that $10,000. So we're gonna put save 10K. We're gonna reach for that one quick. That would be massive. That would be a huge quick win that would give you momentum and make you feel amazing. Save 10 G's. Okay. Next, we are going to define book 1, and our final choice for 12-week year is going to be increase current pricing, so we can immediately make a difference to the bottom line. So now you've got a lot of things here that you might still work on for the year, but I want you to now challenge yourself for a 12-week year for 3 of those items. Now this is where it gets really juicy, okay? For your next step, we need to talk about the victory protocol. The victory protocol is critical. And when I say critical, I mean critical. Doing this is so fun. We love to sit down, we love to make a little exercise and make some plans and write all the big dreams that we have down. And then it's time to do the work. And we get a little hung up, and that's okay. We need to know how we are motivated. How are you motivated? I would like to ask you, what is something fun and cool and great and interesting and beautiful, maybe a little expensive? What's something that you want right now? That if you saw it and you had the cash for it, that's gonna be critical here if it costs money. If you saw it and you were like, I deserve that. What's that thing? I know something's popping into your head right now. Some ladies might be thinking of a nice handbag they've wanted for 5 years. Maybe there's a pair of shoes. Maybe you're thinking of a car. I know you're thinking of the color right now. Whatever it is, something that is aligned with your 12-week year goals. I want you to choose what the reward will be if you make those things happen. So I'll give you an example. For saving $10,000, if I were to make ground on my down payment money, do you know what would get me really, really excited about having money in savings that I can't do anything about? Maybe I also put a little bit aside for a nice piece of furniture that's gonna go in my new house. I may not have my new house yet, but I might have a piece of furniture picked out that will definitely look nice no matter where I live. That's how, I know what I like. I know what I like. So if I reach this goal of saving $10,000 for my dream home, then I'm going to be able to buy an antique furniture item. Listen, if it doesn't get you going, don't write this. But I get excited about that. I get to go shopping for my dream home because I just made it a little bit more of a reality. That's a great reward for me. I need the victory protocol so that every single day when I am being asked to do this crazy hard thing that is saving money for something that doesn't exist yet, I'm gonna get something to just make me taste it a little bit more. All right, define book number 1. What's a reward that we could have there? This one's a little bit smaller. It could be very big for you if you have never been an author before. This is a little bit smaller for me. But if it's big for you, then how do you create the relatable thing that you're going to reward yourself with? Maybe you decide once you define what your book is going to be that you're going to let yourself take a day trip somewhere super inspiring. Maybe you get to start looking for a beautiful Airbnb that you would want to rent in order to be able to go there and write your book. That's a cool idea. Or you just go somewhere super inspiring and enjoy the day and just bask in the glory that is, I'm about to become an author. I know what I'm gonna say. How exciting. So we're gonna book a day trip somewhere. Finally, increasing the pricing on your offers. So many of you, my clients included, have a hard time with this. I'm not gonna raise my prices because I already have a hard enough time getting business. Okay, you have a hard enough time getting business, but you're not making enough money and you feel really crappy about your business. Time to raise your prices, especially if you have some demand. So increase those prices, and let's say as soon as you convert new customers to those new prices, then you reward yourself. And your reward here could be something for you. It could be something for your team. It could be an organization win, right? So let's say we get a bonus and you decide what that bonus amount would be. Don't go spending all your new profit, but we got to get people excited. Now, this is key. Your victory protocol is cleared. You're good to go once you've reached your goal. So it's really important that your 12-week year has a very definitive due date on it. Let's say you're going to start your 12-week year at the top of the year, January 1st. For 2025, your last day of the 12-week year would be Wednesday, March 26th. So if that's you, you're going to start on 1/1/2025 if you're watching this in real time. So your 12-week years would be due March 26th, 2025. Once you get to March 26th, if you go back and you say, there's $10,000 in my savings, I have a literal book defined, I've even started to outline it so I have a clear idea, and I increased my pricing to whatever this was supposed to be. If on that date these things are true, then whatever you defined for your victory protocol, you make happen. And you don't have to feel bad about it. This is the thing. We have such a hard time celebrating our wins, our small wins. This could be so big for you. If it is, then you should celebrate it. Give yourself a way to celebrate it. That is what is so important in the victory protocol. There's some other things that we talk about in Inner Circle as it pertains to this, what I call the visionary blueprint. And that is standards. We have power standards. And we also have a resource chest. And that is some other things that you can think about how you're going to achieve these things. What are the resources I'm going to pull from? What are the standards that I need to make happen every day? This is very, very important. We can think it all has to do with getting the work done. Most of the time, it's about showing up as the version of you that you're supposed to be so that you're thriving. So these are some things we go into more detail in my coaching program, but just something so simple like this. What's the vision? What could you do in a year's time to get closer to it? And then stop kidding yourself that you have 12 months. Get it done in 12 weeks and make it matter to you. Every day, 3 times a day, I review what my 12-week year goals are. And I know what vision they are tied to, because as soon as I see save $10,000, I see I'm saving for that dream home, right? Or as soon as I see I need to define, for me, it's book number 4. I need to define book number 4 because someday I'm going to be a 5-time best-selling author. I see the vision right next to my goal. I keep them very close so that when I'm reviewing it, I'm not just thinking in the weeds, I'm thinking as myself many years from now. So when I'm looking at this 3 times a day, I see where I'm going right now. I see where I'm going in the long run, and I see what I get from my hard work in the very near future. Put that due date right next to everything, review it 3 times a day, and you will be just like the successful people you look up to, even sooner than you think.